I didn't try to curb stomp her. I said I have lived here 10 years and I've never drop kicked anyone, and this could be it. This could be my shot. We're your hosts, Tara, Nora, and Allie, and you're listening to Bad Advice Only.
We're just three New York City rats talking about scurrying around the Big Apple. Here, we make the New York City mistakes so you don't have to.
We're begging you. Leave us a review and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Bad Advice Only NYC. We release new episodes every Monday, so stay tuned, rats. I have a rat dropping this week.
Oh, what's a rat dropping?
Just to recap for our listeners, we did a rat dropping a few weeks back. This is where we're going to give little news tidbits around New York City.
So what's your rat dropping?
My rat dropping was seen on the most reliable source, Instagram.
Oh.
And I actually sent this to Nora since you don't really have an Instagram presence.
I didn't see it.
You sent it to Nora?
No, I sent it to you.
You said Nora?
I said Nora.
I sent it to Tara since Nora doesn't have an Instagram presence. And it is people frying meats on grates, on city street grates, where the steam comes up, kind of like a Korean barbecue.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem with that.
What?
Are you calling that news?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's news. It's new. People are doing it.
So it's raw meat, to clarify. Raw meat, they throw it on the subway grate?
Yeah, I guess it's subway grates, but also one of them kind of looked like a sewer grate, like something where it would crawl out of.
Yeah,
like it was steaming. It was piping hot. And these pieces of meat were thin. Like this man had taken a mallet.
Yeah, well, you have to tenderize your meat.
Well, I thought it was rat meat.
What do you mean rat? Like a rat?
Yeah. You're not going to go buy meat from a store, spend your money, take it outside, and put it on a sewer grate.
All the meats looked different in color.
All right.
So maybe you're saying it's one fat rat and one skinny rat?
Did someone eat the meat? Do we have any evidence of it being eaten?
Only time will tell. Man dies from eating rat meat from sewer.
I don't know why we're assuming it's rat meat.
Only Tara is. It was in the Bronx, and it said beef.
Ooh, sounds like rat to me. So we'll put this video on our Instagram. Y'all let us know what you think. Would you eat that meat? I might.
I would not eat that meat.
I would not eat that meat unless...
How many times are we going to say, eat that meat?
Eat that meat!
Okay, Tara, it's your episode. What are we talking about today?
Today on Bad Advice Only, we will be exploring who the bottle people are.
Ugh.
Now, before we just jump right in, Allie already has an immediate reaction to who the
No,
bottle
I'm
people.
excited. This is a great topic.
She had a visceral reaction.
It was a reaction. So, Al, when you hear the bottle people, what comes to mind? Because I'm sure some of our listeners don't know what I'm talking about.
I was going to ask you a clarifying question. Like, bottle service girls? Like, are we talking about, table service? Or are we talking about,
Yeah, I think a lot of people do think of that. Nightclubs, scantily clad gals, sparklers, and a bottle of champs.
That's bottle girls. Bottle people are different.
It could be almost the exact opposite of what you're thinking.
Oh, we're talking about, the cart mugglers that are trying to get, a 5-cent bottle.
Cart mugglers is a perfect description.
I'm so glad you used that term, Al, because I actually, in this episode, I do a deep dive on titles specifically for these folks, the bottle people.
So for our tourists, I think we should call the people who are non-New Yorkers our proud tourists.
Proud tourists.
Because they get kind of a bad rep. So for our proud tourists, what are the bottle people?
Just quickly to define what a bottle collector is, a bottle person. These are the folks that you'll see if you live in New York or are visiting, especially if you're outside of the more touristy areas. You're going to see folks. Imagine typically a very old man or woman with either a grocery cart or smaller carts and a lot of trash bags. And you'll see them sifting through recycling and trash cans, sorting plastic bottles, glass bottles, aluminum, all of that, right?
Now, let me paint the picture. They have a stolen grocery cart. It is packed to the brim with plastic trash bottles. There's a trash bag on every corner of the grocery cart full of plastic bottles, and they have a stick over their back, their shoulders, with one bag of bottles on either side.
I don't think I've ever gotten closer than 20 feet from a bottle collector.
Oh, I've been right on top of them.
I think Nora would curb stomp one if she had the chance.
There are a number of people that like to do this. There are, of course, your homeless folks that are doing it just to make a couple bucks to get through the day. There are going to be your immigrants that work on it as like a third job. And then there's a very unique population that we'll definitely talk about on today's episode of who gets involved. Am I boring you, Allie?
Sorry, no, I'm just very sleepy.
Next time, do you want to yawn into the mic just to further disrespect my agenda? So yes, you have your deposit initiators, bottle collectors. This one's interesting. Bottle professionals and canners. So the homeless are typically bottle collectors, canners. Bottle professionals, though, these folks, this is a full-time job, and they're bringing in between $10,000 and $40,000 a year.
You shut the fuck up.
That's more than I made in my first job.
Okay, so great point. So Nora mentioned in a few episodes past, when she first moved to New York, she accepted a
Broke
job.
ass hoe.
She was a $36,000. Her annual income and salary was $36,000. So these canners and bottle professionals actually made $4K more than Nora.
I'm assuming they don't get a college degree for that, because I did.
I have so many follow-ups.
I'm really glad you mentioned that, Nora, because there is a famous bottle collector who is, quote unquote, a secret millionaire that we're going to talk about today.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
What?
Yes. So before we get into the millionaire,
I hate my life.
let's just talk a little bit more about what you can make. So how much can you make? If you actually get a can from the bodega, it will be printed.
It's on the back of the bottle right now. Look at
You know
look at
what?
the back
I
of my
have
Pepsi
seen
bottle. It
that.
says 5 cents for deposit.
You're right. Where does it say?
Yeah, it's on the back near like it tells you how much will kill you in the bottle.
It does. It says 5 cents 5 cents or 10 cents. CTRV.
OR.
I thought it was a currency. Also, really quick, what the fuck are we doing recycling in our just little recycling bin? Let's collect this shit and sell it. Like, why are we putting it?
So glad
the
you asked.
recycling.
Y'all are crazy. You make good money and you're already like
That's illegal.
not legal. And
Cut
we
it.
don't do it.
cut. Y'all are crazy. You all fucking so
Ah,
it's new.
no,
So
no, we
mad.
don't. No, we don't. Anything else? Tara, move us along.
Some of these folks are networking with some of the most influential people. And by that I mean superintendents,
Yep.
different building managers, and restaurants
Get first
to
dibs.
get first dibs.
Maybe that's what the guy who's asking you out is doing.
Yeah, just suck him a little bit and see what kind of cans you can
Suck
get.
him a little bit.
Why would I need to suck him to get
Yeah,
the
she could
intel?
just
I could just
ask.
ask.
You've
Well, if
never
there's
tried.
a line and they've already have like a wait list, I
I bet
just feel like
if
that's
that guy were getting sucked a lot, I don't think he'd be asking you out. No offense.
well, that's what I think is the difference. I don't think he is, and I think Tara can make it happen. You guys want the cans or no? I'm
I
trying to
want the
help.
cans.
Nora wants to
I
answer. Okay,
think-
so Nora, what do you think you would do to get this business up and running for us as a canner, as a bottle professional?
Okay. I think definitely networking, like going to giant business places like stadiums. Like I don't sport, so I don't know what the stadiums are here, but there's big stadiums. So if you team up with like those kinds of arenas, that would be a fuck ton of cans. Two, I think I would just create a bunch of recycling bins and put them around the city and just
Steal.
the real thing is I know we're losing money by throwing our cans away.
We are losing money.
And
yes.
we recycle, but like
mean-
they just go to the recycling.
I would like to work it backwards. So one of the lower ones that you hear about the professionals making is 10K. And I think we could-
10K, that's not nothing.
Like, think about that. 5 cents a can to $10,000. Do the math, because I'm not a numbers
can't.
gal.
I cannot.
What? Guys, it's like that's like 500 cans.
500, that's not that many. Allie probably drinks that in Diet Coke a year.
Lay off my Diet Coke cans.
That's
I'm making that money back.
$10,000 you could have a year just off your addiction to Diet Coke.
how much are Diet Cokes a bottle?
I don't know. I get them at work for free.
Okay. All right. So
0 cents.
So we'll net 10K. Okay, so I think one of y'all also asked about location, where you drop them off. One of y'all said, I've never even seen one of these, which is true. New York City, Manhattan proper, actually just got rid of their last one, unfortunately.
Nice.
So when you're seeing these folks collecting cans, they're collecting cans and then having to commute quite far into Brooklyn
With the cans.
to
And
the
the shopping
Bronx.
Are they walking there? These people got cars. They got the cart.
So there is one
Fucking a
person
lot
that
of
I
work. It's
researched.
not worth it.
Okay, so Allie's against our
Okay,
business.
Allie doesn't need $10,000. You heard it here first. She doesn't need it.
She doesn't need it. She doesn't want it. There is one family that I got to know a little bit better during my research, the Morena family.
Like, do you know them personally? Like, you interviewed them on the street? Or?
Yeah. I
You read about them once.
read about it once. So this family, they are making $40K doing this. And one of the ways is they have networked their way up in life. They are very well connected with superintendents, bar owners, and restaurants. They have direct access. The bar owners let them just go right into the back, collect all the bottles, and walk out.
It's probably good for like clubs because
Oh,
clubs
yeah.
have so many whatever
Bottles.
vodka sodas. What are the kids drinking?
I don't know what the kids are drinking anymore. What were you just drinking, Nora?
This vodka water. No can.
Okay, so that's on the more successful side of things, I would say, making around that 40K. And they're very strategic about it. They do, in fact, own a car. And I think if you do want to make that 6-figure around that mark, you probably do need a car to make
Six figures, yeah.
Yeah. It's not going to fit
So
in a grocery cart.
For our proud tourists, none of us have a car.
No.
Here's my thing. What are the least successful ones? Like, are they just like the ones that get knifed trying to get to the cans?
The
So-
least successful, that would be like
The
us.
homeless folks.
Oh,
So the homeless folks do collect cans. You'll typically see them. Nora and I actually just got into a fight with a woman on the bus recently.
Not the woman outside this morning that Nora tried to curb stop for no reason.
I said I didn't try to
No,
curb
Nora
stomp
wanted
her.
to drop
I
kick
said
this
I
woman.
have lived here 10 years and I've never drop kicked anyone, and this could be it. This could be my
She's
shot.
an opportunist.
A woman she followed us, and then she was peering through our front door, just staring at us.
Just,
It was
well,
very creepy.
just because
None of us liked it.
she could sense your dropkick energy.
So, yes, Allie, to answer your question, the folks that are probably bringing in a couple bucks are your homeless. They're probably collecting maybe one bag of, like a trash sack bag.
Trash sack.
Trash
Let's
sack?
bring
Trash
that
bag?
back.
What are they
Do
called?
people call you that? Is that why it
Like
came
a
to
trash
mind?
bag. It's just
That
a trash
was
bag.
my high school nickname.
Trash sack.
No, it was Slutface.
Better than sex farter.
Yeah, mine was herpes girl and sex farter.
Allie, what was yours?
Fat bitch. I don't know. I got fucking gum in my hair and shit on my back. They didn't
Someone
have to. They didn't have to
shit?
give me a name. They just fucking
Shit on your back.
shit on my back. Private school, am I right?
Right.
It was my own fault. I wore a Dr. Seuss watch and like I had such a bad muffin top. I wore these like corduroy pants like every day and like I chafed so much in between my thighs that I just had like a massive hole, but I just didn't do anything about it because I liked those pants so much.
Wait.
You had a hole in your thighs?
And you don't want $10,000 from
I don't have those pants now.
We can buy you so many new pants with $10,000.
Are you are saying
I'm not answering any
Nora-
follow-ups. Keep going, Sarah.
Listener, Nora is like, she's lost in her vodka water. Just
I
trying
just like this
to-
was like 8th grade. This wasn't like yesterday.
you had
Sex farter.
You had holes in your pants from the friction of your thighs.
From chafing. You don't understand it because you skinny twig bitches have fucking thigh gaps.
I don't want to laugh. I'm just like
You are, but like you are. It's like $50. You owe me $50. We're about to fight.
no, I'm
Nora,
sorry.
Pay up.
So a quick editor note, the $50 thing, we have a deal in our friend group of 3 that if we don't want to apologize to each other, we will just send the other $50 via Venmo.
Okay, so let's get to our elite category. The folks that I teased you with earlier, the secret millionaire. Her name's Lisa Silversmith, or her maiden name is Fikowski.
Jew.
So she's really interesting. She only collects about $30 to $40 per day, but she doesn't need this money. She is, in fact, a millionaire. She grew up here in New York, and her parents were both very successful. Do you have questions, Allie?
I just think it's kind of rude. Like, what
kinda
about
rude.
the actual canners, like
Yeah,
the
the
homeless that
canners
need money,
need
and
the
this woman's
money.
like, oh, I'm a millionaire, I'm just gonna do a Nora, and like,
There's also just better ways to make money if you have $1 million than sifting through trash.
like put it in
Like
the
what?
stock market.
The stock market,
Maybe she's taking those
Investing.
bucks and investing.
investing in housing.
I just think it's really like rude for anybody who's not homeless or like not in a good sense of means to like take their cans away from them.
Yeah, that's their cans. It's kind of like taking a Christmas tree off the street.
Okay, that's interesting since, yeah, we are currently looking at a stolen Christmas tree that Nora took off the street.
It's not stolen, it was abandoned. It's a rescue.
Well, it's probably got like something really wrong with it, like
I know.
crotch rot or something.
I
I
thought
was
about that. I thought
so
someone's dog
worried.
definitely peed on that.
Oh, I'm way more worried that there are bugs living on it. Also, have you watered it yet? Anyways, so Lisa is an interesting case. Her parents were quite wealthy. This woman's in her 70s, so elderly woman. You'll see her every now and then.
Should we befriend her to get in the will?
So I personally want to stay as far away from Lisa as possible, and here's why. Lisa owns between 6 and 7 brownstones in New York,
Why would you want to
Why-
get away from
I
that? I
wanna be
want
with
one.
her.
Get me one.
all of which are uninhabitable because she keeps putting trash inside of them.
Oh, it's like
One-
your trash fridge, Nora.
It's like your trash fridge,
But
but
a
an entire
whole
brownstone.
home. I want a trash brownstone.
In Harlem, she owns 3 properties, 2 brownstone terraces, one of which is valued around $4 million, and another apartment nearby.
This woman's an idiot.
None are inhabited and are instead occupied by trash. I think she has one in Brooklyn, like near Prospect Park, which for listeners who aren't familiar,
Beautiful property.
very expensive neighborhood. None of us could afford a home there right now.
Speak for yourself.
She lives in $1 million co-op next to Prospect Park with her husband. They bought it back
She's
in 1999.
married?
Oh, yeah, happily married. But she's failed to take care of all of her properties. She is in multiple lawsuits right now. One, the roof is caved in, and her car was recently towed, even though it was legally parked. The reason it was towed was because it's parked in, again, Prospect Park, this beautiful neighborhood. Wealthy people live there. But everyone thought it was just a junk car because she keeps her cans in there.
Full of trash. Why? I feel like she could hire, like, there's just such a more efficient way to do this if you're a millionaire, where you could, like, hire people, pay a minimum wage to take the cans.
So if you do a deeper dig on Lisa and try to understand where her head's at, her family, her extended family, both her parents were successful government employees. They were both economists. That's how she ended up owning some of these properties they had bought early on in the early 1900s. Very wealthy, well-to-do family. But now they're all insanely ashamed of her and how she just chooses to spend her time collecting cans.
Yeah, because they fucking bought these properties and she's filling them with trash.
Yeah, that's really
like,
fucked
think
up.
about how much it can deteriorate a building. Like, think about all the bugs, the termites, the roaches that are just like, that's so
Ruining
expensive to have to even get out of there.
Any property in New York is a minimum $1 million. So, $1 million properties.
Yeah, she's sitting on like
Getting ruined.
$7 million plus of just
Trash.
trash. Dumpsters, yeah.
That's
she's
so
the trash
depressing.
queen of Manhattan. So her take on it, they've interviewed her, of course. People have interviewed her to try to understand why
pretty?
she's doing this.
Describe her physically to me.
Would you
Fuck her.
want intimate relations with her?
Me personally, no.
Better way to phrase it.
I
But
would
you
not.
could see someone wanting it.
I could see anyone wanting to fuck anyone in this fucking world.
I wouldn't have sex with a dog.
We're keeping that in.
I'm saying I wouldn't.
Anyway, so what else does this woman look like?
Okay, she's
So I can avoid her in the streets. Otherwise, if I find her, I'll bring Nora with me to curb stomp her.
I want a drop kick. I don't even know what a curb stomp is.
Okay, we're gonna look up Lisa. In this picture, she currently has like is it called a wicker hat?
I don't think you can say wicker.
Yeah, it's racist.
Wicker?
Yeah.
Wicket? A straw hat.
Better.
There you go.
She's wearing a straw hat. She has red short hair and a checkered shirt on.
Is she strawberry shortcake?
What age is she?
70s.
70s? Why would you even have said someone would fuck her?
So yeah, this girl, she thinks it's funny. She's like, oh, back in the day, New York used to accept eccentrics, and I guess not anymore. But the oh my God. Do we want to just ignore that, or?
That's how Nora sneezes. More to come. She just ate some spicy chili dumplings.
Whenever I eat spicy food, I sneeze. Especially Asian food that's spicy.
Now, on a more positive spin, there's this really great website if anyone's interested in getting involved in
www.pornhub.com.
Tara's
sponsor.
OnlyFans.
Okay, so there is...
Trashcans.com.
It's called Sure We Can, you assholes. Sure We Can. And they're adorable if you go to their website. They're so cute. It has like a meet the canner, and it has a little like story about each person that's involved. That's my story on cans. It sounds to me like Nora is semi-pro cans. She wants to make an extra buck. Allie is not.
Look, I'll do it if I have cans.
I don't want
In
to take
excess.
other people's cans.
But I'm not
if I
digging
have
through trash, yeah.
So I'm curious to know why you're worried about taking other people's cans.
Because I feel that's for the people who need their can money, and we don't need it. But if we bought the can, then I guess we get the money.
AIDS for me.
Who would think that this would be our most controversial episode where we have to cut everything?
I mean, no one needed to bring up AIDS. I think she has fucking Tourette's.
So I'm with Nora where we bought the can and I spent well over 5 cents on it. So why not make the buck back, the 5 cents back? Now, the three of us did have an amazing opportunity. Let me start over. The two of us had an amazing opportunity to go to Berlin. Allie missed that trip.
Allie, unfortunately, missed. She skipped Berlin by accident.
She missed her flight and just didn't rebook.
Didn't show up.
Didn't miss my flight. I got dumped.
She did not get dumped.
She did the dumping. Anyway, so while we were in Berlin, Nora learned that the folks will take their recyclables out and just lay them around the trash in little huddles.
Yeah, they don't put it in the trash or the recycling. They put all their bottles outside so that what are they called? Oh, that's a racist word.
What'd you say?
I can't say it again now.
Say it.
I wasn't trying to be disparaging to the Mexicans. I love Mexicans. And I love Mexican food. Is it getting worse? What are the people called?
Canners.
Canners. Okay, you can see how I would get that confused.
Were you thinking about a can of beans?
Yeah, I was thinking about a can of beans.
Or were you thinking about Mexicans picking
I was
up?
thinking about a can of beans. But anyway, you put the cans outside of the trash can so that the canners can come by and pick them up. And they'll come up to you and ask. When you're drinking something, they'll come up to you and be like, can I have your can?
And they're very polite about it.
Yeah, they're very polite. Not like ours.
Listener, we were at a party last night, and we were telling folks about Bad Advice Only NYC and getting some feedback from our friends.
Negative feedback.
Mostly negative feedback from our friends. Anyways, so we were polling people, asking them questions that we have brainstormed for this podcast. And I told folks that I was going to talk about the bottle people. And one of our friends actually had a story about a bottle person. She witnessed a turf war. Oh. So she was in Union Square, which is semi-touristy, I would say, but not crazy.
Really.
It's just like
touristy.
it's like school territory.
Yeah. I personally wouldn't be collecting bottles over there. There's too much going on.
Yeah.
I would avoid it. There's too much going on.
Not due to the I almost said terrorists. Tourists, not the tourists.
And the terrorists. It's like a mini Times Square.
It's just that there's a lot of shoppers over there.
Yeah,
they're
there's a lot of
crowding up
shops.
the place.
So our friend is watching this all go down. There's this elderly Asian woman who she is just bent with time. She's completely at a 90-degree angle. And that's actually what most of the collectors will look like, the professional ones. They've literally been doing this for decades. And their
Strong
body,
right angle.
a strong right
Like,
angle.
imagine hinged at the hips, your
They're
top
bowed.
half parallel to the sidewalk.
Completely bowed.
And this is totally accurate.
Yeah, we're not being
It's like so
harsh.
sad.
It is
every
sad.
time I see it, I stand up straight and I'm like, oh my god, I have to
do
fix
actually
my
the
posture.
same. Every time I see a bottle collector, I do straighten my posture
Yeah.
because I worry so much. But I also get really a nice heartwarming feeling that they're probably putting their kids through school, making that money. They worked really hard. It's great. They're
I
hard
bet
workers.
they run like sex rings.
They probably do. But that's for another
You think
episode.
there's like children in those bags under the cans?
My God.
No one said a child sex ring. Good God.
Anyways,
Who's
so
gonna sponsor that, Allie?
Chuck E. Cheese, not sponsored.
Epstein. Anyways, so this bent over woman, she's got an entire cart full. She's clearly been working for hours. It's spilling over. She has her trash bags hooked on the outside of the cart as well.
Smart.
So I would say she has at least 10 to 12 bags of cans in her cart. And then she also, like Nora described, the pole over her shoulders.
Like a knapsack.
Like a knapsack, but on both sides to even it out, more bags. And another woman has encroached on her territory. And you can kind of just get the sense that this woman's, the original's, turf. So they start to argue. And they're speaking in a different language, unfortunately. But what I could get from our friend that gave the story was basically, hey, get off my turf. This is my area. And then a knife was pulled.
By which one? Original or the newbie?
Newbie. Ugh.
Nice.
Cuts the woman's bag.
I thought you were gonna say throat, and I was gonna be like, makes sense. Her bag?
Cuts her bag. You would rather there be blood?
I'd rather the
spilled?
wrists slit.
This
I just can't believe you do that.
This
Go
episode
on.
is never making it.
We cannot air this. So she cuts the bags.
Bottles
Everywhere.
spilling everywhere, screaming, fighting. Luckily, I don't know how, but they did get into a physical altercation without the knife, which really confused me in the story.
The knife was for the bags.
And all these people, because it's Union Square, covered in humans, just started rooting for the original bag lady, bottle lady, I guess.
That makes sense. That's good camaraderie.
Yeah, police are already there because there's always cops in Union Square, right? No one helps the lady pick up the bottles, and that's really all I got from the story. Because again, we were at a party, and it's
this
really
was
hard to get a
last
full
night. I
story.
didn't hear this.
Yes, either.
Well,
We were busy. Do you have any other facts about the bottle people you wanted to share?
not really. I'd love feedback or y'all's take on the bottle people.
I want to be one. I don't think I
I'm
should.
not trying to get knifed for fucking 5 cents.
She didn't get knifed. Her trash bag got knifed.
I already have bad posture. I'm not looking to accentuate it.
That's true. Me too.
I have okay posture.
My boobs are weighing me down. I'm about to be 90 degrees any day now. Y'all are in for a real treat today because, as you could hear from this episode, we were quite tipsy recording. So we gave a couple shots at what ads for our sponsors would sound like. You may have noticed we don't have any sponsors, but this should surely convince some. Enjoy.
Hey rats, are you thirsty for something that's not just another shot in a shot glass? Do you like Jell-O and something that wiggles? Well, we've got the perfect treat for you. Follow us at jollies_shots and maybe we'll give you some free samples.
Hey rats, you ever wonder why Nora's face looks like a porcelain work of art and Tara looks like a bag of bones rotting off her flesh? That's Botox. You should definitely go to Peachy where Nora gets her Botox.
Hey rats, you looking for a good morning breakfast routine or maybe just a healthy snack that you can roll into some bowls for fun? Try Oats, the #1 oatmeal company in the world.
Let me tell you, rats, this rat is allergic to banana, but I can't stop nibbling down those banana nut.
Oats.
An allergic reaction? Worth it.
Oh my god.
Do you think they'll let us use that?
No.
I know I'm not the only one that's torn her asshole.
I almost just pooped.
Abby.
Band-Aids.
All right, there's some good snippets in there for our sponsors.
I'm going to stop the recording.
Yeah, good idea.
Hey rats, if you thought today's episode was going to be about bottle service and it ended up being about canners and you want something a little bit more spicy, slide into my DMs like a dick and a puss.
Oh my God.
As always, thanks for listening. If you're interested in even more bad advice, scurry on over to Instagram and TikTok at Bad Advice Only NYC. We're begging you. Download and rate the show and leave us a review. Talk to you next Monday.
Stay tuned, rats.